Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel if you have been here before. So let's get right into this. Have you all ever used bribery to try to get your adult son or daughter to take their medication if they have been diagnosed with a serious mental illness? I have never thought about that before, but I have engaged in various support groups, online and in person, and that topic has come up before. So my adult son has been medication compliant for the past 5.5 years, but the reason he's been compliant is because of an incident that happened when he was not med compliant, and he was ended up psychotic, and because of that incident he ended up on probation for 6 years. So he's been on probation for over 5 years now. He's been med compliant, and I've been trying to come up with different ideas to encourage him to remain med compliant even when he's no longer on probation. And so at the same time, I've been brainstorming ideas, but also I am trying to be still and listen. I think there's a passage in the Bible that says something to that effect. Just be still and listen. And I guess that means wait for signs in the universe to tell you what to do, to guide your steps and to guide your words. So lately, that's what I have been trying to do. And so when I say signs in the universe, it could be like a random conversation that you have with someone when you're on your way to work, like on the train or whatever. It could be a conversation with a family member. It could be something that you see on TV. And so recently I was watching this movie on Tubi called Bricked. T.C. Carson was in it. If you ever watched the show Living Single, T.C. Carson is the proper talking brother that was on Living Single. He played a therapist in this movie, and his client was a young adult male, and he had ran into some trouble at home. Similar situation to what happened in our house with my son. In this movie, the main character is diagnosed with bipolar, and he had assaulted his younger brother. And so basically, in order for him to be able to come back to the household, his mother sent him to this therapist. He was actually able to live in an in-law suite at the therapist's house and do some work for the therapist in exchange for getting the free therapy. But the therapist took a holistic approach to treating his patients. So that involved not just medication, but it also involved trying to eat the right foods and exercise, and then also going to therapy. And I just thought, in an ideal world, that would be perfect if everyone who has a mental health problem would be able to willing and able to do all that, to be able to afford to do all of that. And so then it occurred to me, I was still and I was listening, and it occurred to me, like, remember when you went to these support groups and there were parents in there talking about how they bribed their adult son or daughter to get them to take their medication? There was literally a couple in one of my support groups who said they paid their adult son $5 a day every time he would take his oral antipsychotic medication. So that was kind of like a random thing that thought was triggered when I saw this movie. Like, you know what? Maybe I could try the same thing. Maybe, that could work for my son. So, because my son is always saying, or asking me, is there any work that I can do around the house to do, to earn extra money? I garden, and so he has helped me a lot in my garden because gardening can be back-breaking work. Just this weekend, he came over. My son was putting together a new bed down in the basement, and he came over and he helped my husband put the bed together. So we're always just trying to come up with ways for him to earn money versus just handing him money. He does get disability income, but that mainly goes for the rent at his apartment. And so anyway, the point that I want to get across is that sometimes you have to be still and listen. And so from watching this movie, it made me think about the families who were bribing their adult son or daughter to take their medication. And so I said to my adult son this weekend, I said, you don't have to answer me now. I want you to think about this. But when you're no longer on probation, I will pay you each month, and I'll probably pay him like maybe $100 for the month. I hadn't really thought about the exact price yet, but I am willing to resort to bribery if that's what it needs. I will pay. I told him I will pay him, a certain amount every month if you continue to get your monthly injection. And then I will sweeten the deal. I will add something extra to it if you will agree to try therapy. And so he told me he would think about it. He told me that he would think about it. So we'll see how it goes. At the end of the day, I'm just doing the best I can, and I will resort to any means necessary, and that includes bribery, to get him to be med compliant, because I do not want him to go off his medication and then have another psychotic event in which he hurts somebody, or he gets hurt, or he gets put in jail, or worse. So I will do what I have to do, and if that includes bribery, then so be it. So again, I ask, have any of you ever tried bribing your loved one? And if it did, how did that work out for you? Please comment in the comment section. Or if you have some other unorthodox means of getting your loved one to be med compliant, can you also put that in the comment section? Because I want to know, and I'm sure other inquiring minds want to know as well. What are some ideas that we can... There's a car just zooming around the parking lot for whatever reason. But yeah, put in the comment section. So inquiring minds want to know, what are some unorthodox ideas that you come up with to get your adult son or daughter to be med compliant? So with that, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.